Hi, it is the Updated Weeb, and in this video, we will be featuring the fight between Garu and Saitama, but it won't be the same as the ones we've seen in the anime, where Saitama violates Garu without being able to fight back. In this review, we will witness a one hell of a fight, without having a single drop of blood. The whole fight will be comprised of 4 chapters, 161, 162, 163, and 164. Before fighting Saitama, Garu first perfected his fist by fighting the Sage Centipede. Once before, Garu showed off to Silver Fang by breaking a lot of tiles in one go. But what Garu didn't know was that there was still a single tile left. Garu did not forget this not even once, and even used this lesson when he fought the Sage Centipede. As Garu descends from the sky, he lands a strong hit on the Sage Centipede's head, thinking that he finally reached the epitome of martial arts. While splitting the Sage Centipede into 2, Garu has received a huge power-up that this disaster of a monster has been turned into a blessing instead that helped him perfect his fist, thinking of the Sage Centipede as a brick tile made just for him. It was when Caped Baldy came to the scene that built up the tension between these two. And that concludes chapter 160, titled Divide, as he splitted the Sage Centipede apart. We then get to proceed to chapter 161 with this cover looking like an eye divided into 3 parts. Is it a foreshadowing of the 3 theoretical gods of One Punch Man universe? One which is the spiritual god that gave Homeless Emperor his abilities. Second is the one that has been seen in the moon and is believed to be the god of the flesh. While the last one seems to be imprisoned by Blast and his team, as seen by Saitama and Flashy Flash back in the Dimensional Rift, who is believed to be the god of the void. However, we won't be going any deeper into that in this video. Going back to the main topic, Garu now feels as if the S-Class heroes were afraid of him. That now that he has perfected his fist, he can now execute absolute evil with ease. And that doesn't exclude Saitama, as Garu introduces himself as Garu the Monster, the one who will execute absolute evil. But Saitama insists that he doesn't even look like one, while complaining about these common problems as the other heroes are having so much trouble fighting these monster cadres. I guess that's just how it is when you're too overpowered. Garu felt chills up his spine as Saitama complains even further. He even said that he was looking for the Monster King so that he can pour all of his built-up emotions without even knowing that he already defeated it. Really? How more disrespectful can this Caped Baldy be? Slaying the King of Monsters with ease, while the others are struggling fighting cadres alone. Garu cannot accept the fact that he just felt scared, attempting to attack Saitama as he was turning back. But Saitama lands a hit on him first that sent him spinning around. It was at this moment when Garu finally realizes that this guy is the one who has been violating him all along, back in the previous seasons, before he was even turned into a monster. He now has this scary image of Saitama up in his head that had gave him so much trauma. Proceeding with chapter 162, Garu continues to throw a lot of punches at Saitama. However, Saitama appears to just have been evading and dodging all of them. Garu went all out, throwing Saitama all around, but Saitama just doesn't receive any damages. Having a lot of confidence in his perfected fist, he hit Saitama in the head with a karate chop, just like how he did with the Sage Centipede. Since Garu has always been using karate chops, should we call him now One Chop Man? Or One Chop Monster rather? Jokes aside, we all know just how sturdy that Caped Baldy's head is. Instead of receiving damage, Garu's right arm shattered as Saitama jumped normally, showing just how much Saitama's head is off the charts. With Garu's new abilities from the Monsterification, he easily regenerates his right arm. Saitama then appears to have been trying to say something to Garu, but Garu neglects it and throws a punch instead, causing Saitama to be infuriated, throwing a punch at him back. Garu now realizes just how big of a threat Saitama's strength is, and that if he is going to execute absolute evil, Saitama will be the greatest hurdle. Garu's body turns even more into a monster, realizing that his rage is what triggers his monsterification. Garu then gets to see this boy Tario whom he saved back then. Saitama walks up to them while telling Garu that he's making the old man Silverfang worry, and that he really isn't a monster, as this boy Tario convinces him even more. Garu insists that he really is a monster, while this boy Tario replies that he is more of a hero, saving him back then and even now. To make the boy submit, Garu states that he will defeat Saitama and show how powerless heroes are. But Saitama just provokes him even more, asking Garu to land a hit on him. So, Garu definitely did. He landed a strong blow on Saitama's head, but as we have all expected, Saitama wasn't even moved. That sturdy little head of his is just way too powerful for anyone. Saitama then reassures this little boy Tario that he's okay and fine, showing him that heroes won't easily submit into evil, to not break the boy's spirit. He then sent Garu flying, in order to get this chance to talk to the boy, asking him if he wants him to stop Garu instead of killing him. The boy nods with a serious face, giving Saitama an idea of what he has to do. Proceeding with chapter 163, with a cover of Garu's body resembling that of a monster or devil. Saitama follows Garu where he just flew into, telling him that he should be a hero since he cooperated with one a while ago. Going back to chapter 158, where he cooperated with Metal Bat in fighting the Sage Centipede. Saitama continues to mess with Garu, which made Garu infuriated, launching an attack on him, continuing the fight between the two. Garu launched a consecutive rush of attacks on Saitama. However, Saitama always appeared to have not been harmed at all, until Garu finally uses a God Slayer instant attack on Saitama. But Saitama appears to just have been toying with Garu, complaining how Garu's technique have been making all his punches miss. For as we all know, Rock Smashing Water Stream Fist is a defensive style used by Silverfang, which uses the flow of the enemy's energy to make an even more powerful attack. Garu then used another flashy move, named Godslayer Ascending Attack, which has sent Saitama flying, cushioning over so many buildings that was sent flying with him as well. But Garu was not satisfied yet. He immediately followed up with a great power attack, with so much impact and so much power that it had left the buildings crumbling and eventually dispersing to dust. He now thinks that this would stop Saitama from fighting. But then, Saitama showed up in front of him with a poker face. Garu appeared to be so shocked. It seems that Garu doesn't actually have a clue about just how much power Saitama has. But what had caught my attention was Saitama's clothes. Just how much power and strength does that costume have, resisting so many attacks from Garu, when even buildings are turning to dust? Way back in One Punch Man Season 1 Episode 2, Saitama's clothes was once burnt by Genesis' attack. Does it mean he actually made that costume with 100 stitches with 100 different strong fabric in order to keep up with his strength? Surprisingly, some civilians were trapped under a bunker. They can't get out since the rubble of the building was blocking the way. And due to Garu's strong attacks that pulverized the buildings, the rubbles that were blocking the way were also pulverized. The civilians were so glad that they were able to get out finally. They then thanked Saitama for helping them. But Saitama directed their gratitude towards Garu, since Garu was actually the one accidentally helping them. Though scared of the monster-looking Garu, the civilians still expressed their gratitude towards him, which touched Garu's heart. Being thanked for the first time in his life, Garu stood right there awkwardly when Saitama tells a joke, telling him that he's no longer the ultimate evil, but the ultimate in martial arts technique instead. Garu was annoyed, but it appears as if he was actually glad that they thanked him. Does this mean that Garu is a tsundere? Is this a Garu tsundere reference? Garu continued on attacking Saitama as Saitama just evades while smiling at him. The two continued to fight until they reached a place where a volcano was starting to erupt. Garu's rage made him become more and more into a monster, making him more bulkier and even giving him wings that resembles that of a demon. Even Saitama felt the power up in Garu's attacks. He was thrown into the erupting volcano due to the impact of Garu's powerful blows, but it still looks as if Saitama wasn't receiving any damage at all. And that includes his clothes. Okay. Garu continues to pummel Saitama while destroying the whole mountain in the process. The civilians were shocked that the mountain was shattered, making the lava flow the other way around, leaving their town safe from the lava's harm. They all rejoiced. Garu was starting to get tired, and Saitama started throwing punches at Garu once again. Garu can't accept the fact that Saitama was still just fine when the mountain just shattered, meaning that Saitama was actually much more stronger than the whole mountain. At this point, it doesn't seem as though what's happening is just coincidences. Saitama is actually leading Garu into herohood by making him help people accidentally, showering him with the warmth of the civilians' gratitude. Was it actually because of this boy Tario that has driven Saitama to do this thing? If this boy wasn't around, would Saitama have killed Garu already? But I don't think so, cause Saitama might have felt that Garu wasn't actually a pure monster already. Proceeding to the last chapter of this discussion, we've got chapter 164, titled The Abominable Fist That Has Turned Against God. Garu and Saitama continues their fight, even after all the things that had happened. Garu is getting frustrated, running all out of options trying to defeat the escaped Baldi, while Saitama is just playing around. He even grew more hands, but it still wasn't enough to defeat Saitama. It was at this moment when he decided to resort to an attack made of creativity, turning himself into somewhat resembles a jet plane, pouring all of his energy into his palm, serving as his engine, while plunging Saitama deep underground. He called this attack the Extreme Power Attack, having a very powerful impact that it went through the core and passed to the other side of the earth. Just how much more powerful had Garu become to be able to pull off an attack that could shatter the whole planet? Then at this other side of the earth, there appeared to be a plane in the middle of the ocean, which appeared to have crashed with unknown reasons. Due to the impact of Garu's massive attack, the earth started to bulge. The terrain from the oceanic crust started to rise, which saved countless of lives. Was this one also planned by Saitama? If this is, then wasn't he actually almost omniscient? Blast and his team had felt the bulging of the earth. They were so surprised, thinking that there was actually an individual habituating earth who is actually capable of pulling this feat. This is where Blast's teammates started to get exposed, with a woman using something like a sorcery magic that might be a clarity type since they were able to see the earth. This woman is looking like an elf with a sharp pointed ears and big potentials. We've also got this beast looking guy with a lion head. And finally this guy who resembles Boros so much. He also have his earrings, but the only difference is he has this scar on his face, which Boros did not have before. We've also seen Boros die back in Season 1 Episode 12, where Saitama punched him with his serious killer move, destroying his core in the process, which is what's believed to be the heart of their race. If that's so, then who might this guy be? It might be a relative, or even someone within his race. Is he more powerful than Boros? or maybe even inferior. We don't know just yet, but we won't be tackling that even deeper since this video is about Saitama and Garu. With the instances at hand, Blast and his team decided to go to the Earth to stop the individual who is behind the bulging of the Earth. To us who are readers are obviously Saitama and Garu. Saitama might have felt something unusual, giving Garu this serious look. It made Garu flinch so much. Then Saitama launched his consecutive normal punches, an attack we haven't seen for so long. This attack made way for them to get back to the Earth's surface. And then we've got to see Garu getting beaten up by the consecutive normal punches by Saitama. But what's unusual about this is that Garu was able to withstand the consecutive normal punches, while Boros on the other hand was completely torn into pieces. And if you look closely, Saitama was only using one arm, compared to his fight with Garu now when he's using both of his arms. Meaning, he is launching further more attacks compared to when he was facing Boros. Does this actually mean that monsterified Garu is actually much more durable than Boros, if we were disregarding his core? While getting beaten up, Garu had a realization, thinking of what the Sage Centipede had said to him about an abominable fist trying to turn against God. He first thought that the Sage Centipede was talking about him, but he realized that it was this man Saitama whom he was referring to. Does this actually mean that Saitama is rebelling against gods? I mean, what if Saitama himself is a god? The gods doesn't have hair, and Saitama is a caped baldy. Anyways, let's continue with the fight. Garu flew so far away due to the impact of the attack of Saitama. A small price to pay considering that Boros almost died if it wasn't for his core. This menace of a baldy now walks to him, asking him if he is satisfied yet. I mean, if it was me then I would say I am. I wouldn't bet my life on something I wouldn't win. Garu now comes back to his senses, knowing that he wouldn't be able to defeat Saitama, running all out of ideas in trying to bring him down. Then there's also his broken wings, portraying just how much he won't be able to achieve his goal of being the ultimate evil. He then decided that if he were to die, then he would want it to happen at this man's fist. However, Saitama didn't plan on killing him all along. Garu goes and asks Saitama to kill him, but Saitama just wouldn't do it. Saitama figured out that Garu actually had hero issues, and that they can talk about it. Garu was very surprised, like hell man, we've fought so hard just to talk about something. This just shows how much of a hero Saitama is, handling things without resorting to violence and murder. This little kid Tareyo was also a big factor in this. His wish to bring back his uncle Garu contributed to Saitama's idea of helping him, making him accidentally help civilians and making the civilians thank him in order to soften his very hardened heart, leading him to the path of herohood. Well, Garu wasn't actually all pure evil, since he has a soft spot for kids, helping Tareyo every time he meet him. Saitama and Garu then proceeded to go in this broken hut in the middle of the ocean, where Saitama appears to be scolding Garu about his mistakes in life. And that concludes the fight between Saitama and Garu, with Garu conceding in defeat, also ending the chapter 164. This whole fight was a roller coaster of ideas and emotions. However, it has led into an unwholesome end. Some said that the fight was disappointing since no one was killed, but for me it was wholesome. Some say that the fight was very disappointing since no one was killed in the process. Fights doesn't necessarily need to have murder. The action was there, the ideas and emotions are there as well. None of them have to die for the fight to be great. But what will happen to Garu now that he has been defeated in a nice way by Saitama? Would he end up like Suiryu, who wanted to become a hero as well after being saved from a lot of monsters? What will happen when Blast and his team arrives on Earth and encounters Garu and Saitama? Will they engage in a vicious combat as well? Or will they have a nice talk too? Now that the current Monster King has been killed, is Garu now the unofficial new Monster King? I guess we'll find that out in the new release of chapter 165. If you've reached this end, then surely you had a great time. Be sure to like and subscribe in order to be notified whenever I make another review of one of the latest chapters in the most anticipated anime and manga of the season. Once again, it is the Updated Weeb. I'll see you on the next one.